You're in the right place for how to beat imposter syndrome and become a more powerful life coach. Hi, I'm Dr. Paul Jenkins. I'm a professional psychologist and I have been training, certifying, and supporting life coaches and positivity practitioners for the past decade. I know a few things about this and I can help you. So what is imposter syndrome? Most people have heard about that. It's that nagging feeling that we all get that somehow we're inadequate. We're not quite up to the position that we find ourselves to be in. It's like we're unfit or undeserving to be in this place. In my work with helping professionals, I have found that this is common. I'm also a past president of the National Speakers Association Mountain West chapter, where professional speakers come together to learn from and with each other. It happens a lot for the people on the mic, on the stage. They feel that they are not quite worthy or capable of being in the place where they find themselves. This is what imposter syndrome is all about. I think it's tragic that brilliant people get trapped in this imposter syndrome because it causes them to shrink, to pull back. Look, there's only one argument that I ever have with my clients, especially those who are life coaches or influencers or powerful people. And that argument is me arguing for their greatness and them arguing to remain small. Can you relate to that in any way? I did it too. I found that we all need certain things in order to beat the imposter syndrome and show up as the powerful influencer that we can be. Number one, life coaches need coaches. If you're trying to jump into a life coaching career and you don't have coaches on your payroll, people that you are paying to coach you, then you're probably missing something. Be humble enough to bring people into your world who can hold you accountable, help you get out of your own head trash, and show up in more powerful ways for your clients. One of the things that your coach can help you with is to gain clarity, and that leads me to my second point. Coaches need clarity. And specifically, coaches need clarity around 7 specific areas. And very quickly, it's the why behind your coaching. It's who you want to coach. It's what you have to offer them. It's how you're going to offer that, where you're going to offer that, when you're going to offer that, and the ethics or limitations to your practice. You have to be clear on those 7 areas. Now, we're all working on gaining clarity in many of those. I've put together a quick quiz for you just to kind of take the temperature and see where you are. Go to the URL on the screen. This is completely free and it's my gift to you. drpauljenkins.com/practitioner quiz. I train and certify positivity practitioners. And this is where we start. As you look at how clear you are in each of those 7 areas, you'll know what to work on. You'll know what's next. When you've completed the quiz, make sure you hit submit. You'll give me your name and email address so that I can provide the results to you. And then I'd be happy to follow up with you if you want to take it a step further. One of the common pitfalls that I see for life coaches and the imposter syndrome is that it's such a solitary practice. And I think it's a mistake to do this alone. I already said that coaches need coaches, but coaches also need community. And that's my third point. Find a community of people who get you. What associations do you belong to? What groups have you enrolled in? What mastermind groups have you put together? Who are your colleagues? Who can you call? Who can you run an idea by? You need a community. I remember early in my practice, I was the Lone Ranger. I'm going to do this all on my own. right? And some of that was because I didn't know where to look to find my people. I have since learned that there are communities of people out there who get me, and I get them. There are other people in my world who tell me I still need to get a real job. And I just laugh at that, because you can have a very successful career being a life coach. I made a transition from being a psychotherapist to being a life coach. Now, there's some important differences in my mind. I apply a lot of the same skill sets and use a lot of the same principles, but there's a different philosophical approach there. Just really quickly, if you think of your mental health on a spectrum or a continuum, clear over here on the left end is the sick end. That's where we have diagnosis, pathology, treatment, and I hung out on that end of the spectrum for the first part of my career. I'm really more excited about the other end of that. And to understand that, if we go to the middle first, the middle is health, meaning not sick. You think about it, you can be sick in bed with a fever, throwing up. There comes a time you can get out of bed and you're not sick. But that doesn't mean you're truly fit, thriving, prospering. That's on this end of the spectrum. My psychotherapy practice was over here on this end. I have moved it over here for my life coaching practice. And there's some overlap in the middle. Everybody's got issues. Have you noticed? We deal with those issues according to principle, but our goal is to get as far this way as we possibly can. When I made the transition, my old support group, my colleagues in psychotherapy, some of the people that I went to school with or that I had established my early practice with, thought I had lost my mind. You're leaving the tribe. They thought I went off the deep end. I realized that there's a lot of work to do on this end of the spectrum, and I am really passionate about helping people on the positive side of psychology. But I had to find another group to support me, another community. Coaches need community. Where's yours? And here's the last point that I would like to make, because imposter syndrome shuts us down and has us shrinking and playing a smaller game. When we get out of our own way, we can truly serve our tribe. And coaches need to serve their tribe. That's the last point I wanted to make today. There's a book out there by Seth Godin called Tribes. And he triggered this idea in my mind. As I was reading that book, I realized there's a tribe out there for you. These are the people who are looking for and waiting for you to step up and lead the tribe. Because if you don't lead it, who will? It's your tribe. And your tribe is different from my tribe. Now, there might be some of the same people that belong to both tribes. But my point is, whatever sweet skill set and experience and expertise you bring to the table is different from what I bring to the table. You need to serve your tribe because nobody else is going to do it for you. That's why it's so important to get out of our own head trash, to beat the imposter syndrome and show up in more powerful ways for our clients. Coaches need to serve their tribe. You will not feel right in your own skin until you are doing that in a way that you think fulfills your calling, your purpose with your tribe. Remember, I've put together a quiz for you. This is totally free. It's a service that I provide to people like you who are looking to step up their game in life coaching. Go check it out, will you? drpauljenkins.com/practitioner quiz, all one word. Take the quiz, submit the results so that we can see where you are in that journey, and you'll get more clarity about what's next to take you to a higher level.